any plans for the new one, or just boarding and you decide? Hang on, this is hidden. Decide with horse and when to buddy. How do you decide to buddy them up? Oh, the new horse is just here for boarding. She's not ours. So right now she's here. Sue. She's just here for boarding it. How do we decide how to buddy them up? Well, new horses, when they come in, everybody gets to meet Luke first. And after they hang around with Luke and I see how he reacts, and I'll judge the horse based on his response and his reaction. And when they're good, then I'll try another horse in there. Usually I'll go with Lena, and then I'll try Macaroni. Macaroni is the most I don't know, aggressive, most dominant horse. He'll really kind of get in there and make sure that his position is well known. You know, you'd think I'd be pestering him by just constantly doing this, but if I was bugging him, he's not tied, he can leave at any time. Which is another thing, I encourage you to hang around with your horses without anything on them. So we decide how to buddy them up based on how they react to each other in a larger space. So if they get along, you guys have probably seen in the horse observation videos that I'll comment on whether or not horses will walk along together. Or whether they'll just stay apart. If they stay apart or they really just don't look like they like each other, there's a very low chance of me buddying them up. But it doesn't mean horses can't learn to be friends, can't learn to get along. So some horses will come together and they'll just be awful in the beginning. And then something will click, something will switch. And one will figure out that the other is the boss or the more dominant, and they'll just accept it. And then from there, they just get along. There's no arguing, there's no problems. So buddying them up is very important though. It's true, so it's a good question. How do you buddy? How do you make them so they don't hurt each other and whatnot? It's a good question. And then you got to figure out mares and geldings. For example, Macaroni and Lena get along just great if I put them together. Luke and Macaroni get along great. Gracie gets along with Luke, and Lena does pretty good with Macaroni actually if they're in a bigger space, but he probably wouldn't let her eat much. I don't think Lena does either. Luke would. They'd probably eat together. Peggy and Gracie are at the back now, so I partnered them up, and Lena's up at the front as you just saw. But Macaroni and Luke play a lot, so they make a big mess. Sometimes we'll put them together in a paddock, and most times not, because they're just too rambunctious. Right? See how gentle he is?